All right, just like a lot of you guys, man, I was surprised to hear Briante Weber was not retained for the remainder of the season. They let his final 10-day contract go just after the win Saturday night against Brooklyn. Word is out of the Warrior locker room, guys were kind of upset and kind of down on it. Obviously, Briante was a great teammate as far as guys liking him. He was a great cheerleader, but ultimately on the court, he couldn't spread the floor, and the offense was stagnant with him in there with the second unit in the little bit of minutes that he did get. What I did notice defensively was the energy was there, yes, and he would pick up on ball, right away. He didn't really have the strength to stick to the body of guys. Guys were able to bump him off and go by him. So moving on from Briante Weber, everybody has heard the rumor Jose Calderon. We're awaiting a buyout from the Los Angeles Lakers. Everybody's like, who is this dude? NBA heads know who he is. He's kind of been a little bit of a journeyman. Came over from the Spanish league, via Pau Gasol and some, there's like a clique of these guys that have played in the NBA now for a while. He's an 11-year vet. He's played on a lot of teams. He's 35 years old, and he's only played in 24 games for the Lakers here this season, just kind of spot minutes. He hasn't been in the rotation. First things first, the buyout is not complete. We do not have Jose Calderon yet. They're waiting the buyout. Now, I think the interesting thing is here for the Lakers is their new GM, Palanke, right, who has Warrior connections. He was Andre Iguodala's agent, and being another super agent, he knows Bob Myers very well. So I don't know if this buyout is kind of like a low-key favor, Lakers to Warriors, or what the deal is, but it's not a done deal, but everything is pointing that way. All right, so let's get into what Jose Calderon brings to the table. First things first, why this move was made, ultimately big picture is, yes, we're trading defense for offense. The second unit, those of you that, watch every minute of every game knows there's been some droughts with that second unit's offense. We're reintegrating David West. Livingston sometimes isn't as aggressive as we need him to be, and we either trickle in KD or Clay and of late Draymond into that second unit, but there's just not a lot of spacing on the floor. You have David West, Livingston out there, McAdoo at times, and the floor is just not spaced well enough. You need a second guy to space the floor, and so that's something that Jose definitely brings to the table. You see him here on the weak side, and this is in a playoff game in the fourth quarter, hits the big three. So even without the ball in his hand, he's going to spread the floor, and he can sit on that weak side. Not a lot of guys can do that with that second unit. Here he goes, off the dribble this time in the high pick and roll, and he can pull up very smooth. Again, he doesn't like to shoot it, but he will shoot it. He understands the threat of it. Look who happens to be guarding him here. And again, the threat of the shot allows him to rocker step him all the way to the cup, probing. And then another thing he does very well, you see that long outlet lob to Derek Williams is early transition. He looks to score quick and push the ball. Here it is, another quick heads up pass. And that's something the second unit is kind of slow. They don't really look to score on the fast break. And then look at this play. This is just where he enjoys making an assist more than a shot. The patience gets him the wide open corner three ball. Here we go, another extra pass. Right, his game has never been predicated off physical traits, so he has to think the game. Look at him push the ball here, more early transition, corner three ball. So it's easy to visualize him playing on this Warrior team in our offense. And then here's a pick and roll. Tell me that's not tailor-made for JaVale. Defensively on ball, look at Steph Cookham here. This is what we're giving up. It's not all good, right? He can't guard on ball well. He will get beat in isolation situations. But what he does understand is team concepts. He's in the right place at the right time, and he's not gonna break what the team wants to do. You see him jump in the passing lane here, and then again, the quick early pass to the corner three ball. And then look at this. I love this play here, clutch, not afraid of the moment. This play is kind of a broken play here to win the game. Look at Melo call for the ball. First he waits, he understands, oh, I better come get that. Melo wants it, it's not there, so what does he do? Takes his time and takes the game winner. Take another look at it, look at Melo calling. So he's not afraid of the moment, he's played in playoff games, and then look at the Clay-like celebration. There is none. Man, Spike needs something to cheer about. Another thing is, if you notice, and this is something, again, I'm not a huge Jose Calderon fan. I had to go and look up a lot of clips. I spent the whole morning doing it. And y'all know Alchemy, right? I pay attention to the details and the nuances between the players. And one thing I noticed is that guys really seem to like to play with him. They give him huge dabs, big smiles, because he's just a clever, crafty player. Gets guys the ball when they want it in the right spots, and he seems like he's fun to play with. And you can essentially rest Steph more and make sure he is fresh going into the playoffs, because you can insert Jose into the starting lineup, or with that starting five, rest Steph and still run the same action. Don't get it twisted. I know people like to, jump to conclusions. No, he's nowhere near Steph Curry, right? But again, the same skill set. He can shoot the three, run the pick and roll. He's got a tight handle, and he's a smart player. So you could essentially run the same sets as if Steph was in there. So, this move is not official. I understand what they're doing, and people are disappointed big picture. Everybody always gets enamored with potential and young talent, and that's why Briante was more exciting. I'll probably be back with another video when all this settles down and is official. But that's it for now. I'm out, y'all.